I'm joined now by Democratic Senator Lisa Blunt Rochester of Delaware. She serves on the Senate Commerce Committee, among others. Senator, thanks so much for being with us. On Elon Musk in his efforts, if this is in fact pumping the brakes a bit from the president, what do you think prompted it?
Well, first of all, let's start with the premise that any president can have a vision. But this vision, instead of being responsible, has been reckless. Whether it's the federal employees who keep us safe and healthy, who are being with a chainsaw, whether it's a chainsaw, a wood chipper, a scalpel, whatever tool they want to use. As the former Secretary of Labor in Delaware and a person who served as the head of state personnel, this is not workforce planning. This is not how you do things. It is really just chaos, confusion, and cruelty. And then today with the tariffs, we are seeing the impact of the tariffs on the American people as well. I think, though, bottom line, I think they're starting to hear from our constituents like we are, members in the Senate, and that's why I think they spoke to the president and said, we have the responsibility for changing over agencies, and we are the legal, we have the power of the purse, and Elon Musk is not an elected official, and he's making decisions that are having real-world ramifications and pain for American families.
You mentioned the chainsaw, and we just showed the picture of Elon Musk with the chainsaw. Going from the chainsaw to what President Trump now says is a scalpel, how much of a change do you expect that will mean?
I think that it remains to be seen. I mean, just today we explained about the tariffs and how it's been sort of whiplash back and forth. And we know that these tariffs are really taxes on American families. I mean, the bottom line is it's estimated that around $1,600 to $2,000 will be increased costs for families over the course of a year. And while there are members in the president's cabinet who think that, people are buying cheap goods, and well, for the American people, they are saying, Mr. President, you told us on day one you'd bring down cost. And instead, we are seeing consumer confidence down. We are seeing consumer spending down. And so I think they're feeling it. But it remains to be seen if Mr. Musk will maybe be more behind closed doors and not as visible about it. But we will see as we go into the next few weeks if things keep flip-flopping back and forth.
You mentioned the tariffs, and of course you sit on the Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation. You're from Delaware. Big business. What does the constant shifting, what kind of a message do you think that sends? First, he says the tariffs are coming, no exceptions. Then there are some exceptions. Now there are even more exceptions. Now a total pause. What's the message?
Well, the message is twofold. One is, to businesses, they like stability. They need stability. This is why you're seeing all the volatility in the markets. The same is true for the American consumer. What it says is that at a time when people are saying we need our egg prices down, we need to make sure that we have housing affordability, we're going to do things that actually increase the cost of goods. And so even that $1,600 I referenced, or $2,000, for an American family, that could be a few months' rent. That could be the prescription drug costs that they need to pay. And so I think what we want to see is real efforts rooted in reality, not in a golden vision. We need to root these things in reality and fight for the American people.
And very quickly, you also sit on the committee that has oversight over the Education Department, which still exists today, though yes. President Trump has sent some indication that he wants to more or less gut it. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I have the opportunity now as a senator to actually meet with the nominees before their hearings, and I sat down with then prospective Secretary McMahon, and I had a list of questions, and I said, sometimes people politicize this department that is so important to our country. They say it should be cut, it should be increased. And she said, oh, no, we're going to abolish it. And for me, I thought about the millions of children in our country, whether you are a child, you are the parent of a child with a disability, whether you have a child who is being bullied, or I thought about all of the Pell Grant recipients, the young folks trying to go to college, and the fact that if they are serious about education, then you don't break up the department and put this part in HHS and this part in Department of Justice. You prioritize children, you prioritize educators, you prioritize parents. And so we will see. They've got to bring that proposal to us because we are the Congress. We are the ones that make the laws.
Senator Lisa Blunt, Rochester from Delaware, we appreciate your time tonight. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Perspective Now.